Hello everyone and welcome back to Birth by Sleep. Today, the stuff you've been waiting for, the endgame fights. And here's my set for it. Ars Arcanum, Salvation, Thunder Surge, Fire Surge, Curaga, and Curaga is how we're going to be doing some of these various fights here today. Now, you may be wondering, why are we here? Turns out, super bosses are available in the Mirage Arena, at least a couple of them. I shall be doing the ones that I can run with an okay set first, and then the more jank ones after that. So, there's a bunch of different things you can do here, like this one that lets you fight all the bosses in the game, one that lets you do a Monstro fight, and I guess we'll show the Monstro fight first, as it is painfully easy at this point, because I'm level 60. We're also using this game's best weapon, which I believe is Crown Unlimited, I believe it's called? Also, this file is, of course, on Proud mode, so this is gonna hurt. So, for the first part of the fight, you're taking out Unburst inside Monstro's stomach, which can take a little bit. An easy way to deal with this is have stuff like maybe Mega Flare, where you can just glass the inside of Monstro's stomach and just kill everything immediately. I don't really have that here, so we're just gonna have to do this naturally with a normal non-gimmick set. And this should be the last one. If I can just get him over here. Nope, there we go. Okay, so now that we've done that to Monstro, he's like, oh man, you're giving me indigestion. Time to get you out of here. And this is when we do round 2, and this will loop infinitely until you win. We have a little bit of time. We need to hit Monstro. The best way to do that is to hit him with some of those exploding barrels. Now, if you'll forgive me, I'm not super great at this part, so I expect to take a bunch of hits and do this badly because I did not practice this. See, the problem with this part is he does not leave a lot of opportunities to hit him. I actually didn't know you could do that to him, by the way. I'm freaking out a little bit. So, once you hit him with some bombs and stun him, you can then do stuff like this. And this is where you layer on the damage. And just like that, we dealt like 80% of his health in one phase there. Basically, you hit the bombs into his mouth or onto him. You have to hit a couple of them on his exterior if you want any chance of getting him. And then, of course, he has moves like he'll cross the entire arena to fuck with you. Not a lot of opportunities to just get in, because I found that his patterns are pretty shitty at points. Because sure, he has some standard stuff every now and then, but there are times where he just does attacks that you can't react to, which can be a bit annoying. Like here, he's gonna probably try and splash me a little bit, so I'm gonna get out of the immediate area. No, he's just going the other side and doing that. It's kind of random. It's just like hoping you guess correctly. And hey, maybe you'll be right, and maybe you'll get the hits. You also have 55 seconds to kill him now, and if you don't, well, you have to do it over again. Or not do it over again, but you have to do another section of fucking dealing with the things inside his body, which no one wants to deal with that. Darn, I could have killed him there, but it's a crapshoot sometimes, folks. Got him. That's Monstro. In terms of all the super bosses, he's middle of the road. It's a super boss that is not meant to like be end game. It's meant to be like mid game. And he's okay. But honestly, I I like the other bosses better, but hey, having a Disney one is actually really cool, in a way. Now, let me check. Do I have everything here? Okay, so we have Multi-Vortex. Multi-Vortex is what we're going to be using on the next two bosses, mostly. Because, to be honest, it's the one thing that's going to deal a lot of damage to these bosses, because this game's stat stuff is really bad. Point is, it's super, super, super strong. You get it, I believe, by getting max level in the Mirage Arena, which of course means doing all the arena challenges, doing all the command boards, and doing all 4 Rumble Racing tracks that are available in the game, and getting their best times. It took me 6 or 7 hours to do all this. The two matches we're talking about are Light's Lessons and Peering into Darkness. First one, Light's Lessons, both of these fights exclusive to the Final Mix version of the game, and both involve our two master characters. First one being Master Ericus. In case you didn't know, Master Ericus is the coolest motherfucker on the block. This is his will, his armor. Armor of Ericus. I believe the song's even called Master Tell Me Why. And it's an amazing track and fight. He has a bunch of really, really cool moves. On top of that, some of his moves are dependent on who you're playing as, which is interesting. In case you're wondering, Casey, why don't you hit him? Sure. Did I hit him at all? I'm starting to remember why I was saying that these bosses are a little fucked. Let's get a moment where he isn't doing an attack and then hit him. Okay, he actually transfers pretty well. I'm starting to realize why I fucking hate these fights. In case you're wondering, that's how much damage I've done so far. Hit. His defense is too high. And this is the problem. You basically have to max out your level to do any damage. It's unlike Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, where they wouldn't give you such strict attack versus defense rolls. So it becomes much more difficult. Also, I'm rolling in the background to avoid his desperation move for Ventus, I believe, is this. 3-pronged tornadoes that you can get to tether to each other. Or group them together, at least. And then, of course, he has those. Let's try Multi-Vortex. Of course, it can be difficult because he will try and teleport to avoid it. But watch that. I did no damage. Okay, I'm trying to remember how the fuck this works, because I'm like, this is the file I beat it on. Maybe ours. Guys, I'm doing nothing. I'm not doing any damage to him. I told you that the least good part of this are the super bosses. Not by cool factor, they're fucking awesome. But by factor of what the fuck is going on. Hey, we did a little bit. We nailed how the fuck did I beat this? How did I win this? Alright, here's Max. Max power. You've done no fucking damage to him at all! I've been fighting him for like 4 minutes! What was they thinking with this? They need to be lenient on how damage DPS works, because good fucking Christ! I'm dealing more damage reflecting blasts. You also have to get a lot of hit marks. What in the fuck? How am I dealing damage now? They might be trying to They might be trying to do the, Oh god, he has the glyphs on him now. Now he's just super powered. I don't know how it works. I just know he, like, chains you up and then, I guess, absorbs your power. He's cool. He's cool, but fuck. I think he might have the armor mechanic that Terra had when you fight his armor in Kingdom Hearts 2. where as you deal more damage, he ends up taking more. That or it's luck-based, I don't know. Regardless, it looks like we finally reached the point where the game's letting me deal damage. So this fight's happening. This fight is gonna be just me doing this. And if you're like, oh, that sucks that you can't, like, fight him like a normal boss in a normal Kingdom Hearts game, that's gonna be like every boss we fight. We're using cheese tactics on all of them because they're not great. But I have beaten them. I mean, I don't take friend requests on PSN, but I can load up a trophy list and show you. I have the receipts. I'm pretty sure one of my Keyblades you can only get from beating all of them, too. Hey look, my focus is back because he's doing an 87-hit combo on me. I have had enough of your nonsense. You know, you'd think eventually one of these would hit. None of this. I dealt no damage. Maybe someone could give me more information on how these fights work. Get dialogue going in the comments, to be honest. Even grinding isn't too engaging in this game whenever you're doing top level stuff. Because once you're about level 40, the only things you need to grind for are some of the events. Some of the arena events. And even then, it's mostly these bosses. So for the most part, everything that you were preparing for is the very final thing you do. So then you're like, okay, grind 50 levels just on this. And it's just hit Mega Flare. That's basically all it is. Yeah, well, we're more than halfway through this. I will say, I'm willing to forgive it because, first of all, that's fucking awesome. I fucking love everything aesthetically on this is some of the best of the series. But it's a little rough. We just did a colossal amount of damage. Alright, we just need one more good shot lock and he's done. Uh-oh. Alright, just focus. And that's it. A bit of a lame way to do it, but I'm assuming the only way that makes this playable is maxing out my character. And I have no intent on doing that, unfortunately. I'm fine with getting the credit. It's a mechanic in the game. And you spend most of the time in Birth by Sleep breaking it anyway. The next fight is Peering into Darkness. A throwback with a twist. So, we're going to be doing the same setup here. As we listen to this amazing track. I believe it's called Forze della Oscurità. It's Latin. Basically, what if we gave Xemnas' armored form from KH2, what if we gave him Xehanort's Keyblade? And it creates a wall. He's shooting Keyblades out at us through a mystical wall, and we have to take out the hilt of his Keyblade while they play a remix that mixes the Ansem Seeker of Darkness battle theme with Darkness of the Unknown, Xemnas' battle theme together. And it's a really amazing mix. Should be easy though, right? You know, he's over there on that chair. Not a problem. Except, it's not going like that this time. He's known as No Heart. Why No Heart? Because if you take out the X in Xehanort, you get No Heart. Or another, which also is pretty good. He is fast. This is supposed to be like the super boss of the game. His Keyblade armor gives him bat wings. He's shooting hundreds of Keyblades at you. He's fast. He's doing shot locks on the fly. This is an amazing looking fight. Great throwback in general to basically everything. And as hard as sin. So it's basically multi-vortex the fight once again. Because The only problem, he's so fast, it's hard to fucking get your shot ready. That's why I'm going to be going for partial shot locks on this guy a lot. Because you don't have the time to build multi-vortex up. It's just really, really rough. But it's still a rush. He does drop kicks and roundhouse kicks. It's so awesome. I'll say this, Osaka Team has a lot to prove in Kingdom Hearts 3 when it comes to super bosses. In making their gameplay fun. If they can do that, awesome. Because on the aesthetic thing, they don't have shit to prove. They know how to make something look cool in animations and presentation. And of course, Yoko delivers it on the music front. Alright, full power. To be honest, this dude is actually kind of easier in a way. It depends on the person. Might be easier than Erica's because I can get damage on him faster. But he's like... But he's also a lot faster in general. He also has that darkness wave. I'm not a fan of that. Or... he's so cool! He's so cool, guys. I wish he was in a better combat system. I guess. If this was in Kingdom Hearts 2, I'd shit myself. And that's it. So if you think that that's cheesing fights, you ain't seen nothing yet, fam. You ain't seen nothing yet. But that's no heart. It gives you a grand total of 1,000 medals, and it'll double if you can do it within 25 minutes. That means they expect you to legit be fighting him for like 25 minutes. That or they made it really high to be nice to you. And of course you can buy stuff. You can buy various different things with your rewards there, but I have no need. So, I will see you guys for the next fight. Hello everybody and welcome to the Badlands, the other side of the Keyblade Graveyard. Now, my health is looking pretty good. I'm looking pretty stacked, as you can see. Now, for this part, we need a bunch of Strike Rays and Curaga. I'm going to die to this boss a couple times, probably. One for demonstration purposes. This... Can I say that every super boss in this game has its own musical track, and they're all great? This one's fantastic. The crest pulses with the dark power, and that's a danger I'm willing to face, of course. It is the gear insignia, synonymous with our shadowy other. Coming out of a womb of darkness, we have ourselves Vanitas. Only grayscale this time. It's Vanitas' remnant. An unverse that's meant to just be Vanitas. The difference? He's full of fucking garbage shit. It's his lingering spirit, and I hate him. His track's amazing. He has 1 health bar, but he takes almost no damage to most moves. There's a few ways to cheese him, but the fight starts with this section. He sends a bunch of clones in, and a lot of his attacks will blind you, making you not able to see. The way to win is to get over to a rock. You may say, why the fuck a rock? Because this strat is dumb. We have to get behind him. Alright, he's behind it. We then hit him with a strike raid. And that's it. That's the strat. We have to hit him with strike raids behind a rock, because he does like 90% of my health per hit. You may say, KZ, that's fucking stupid. Yeah, this is like the worst boss of all of them. It's really bad. He takes very little damage to most things, completely decimates you. Oh, you may also wonder, hey KZ. Hey KZ, why did he get his health back? You see, there's another trick to this whole thing that you may be wondering. And it is these cures. Turns out, you're punished for curing in this. Because if you pack cure, he will. And that's why I said demonstration purposes. You cannot, under any circumstance, bring in cure spells. If you do, you will be punished. You may say, well, what can we do? Potions. Potions are fair game. So, we will of course pack mega potions and elixirs and go at it again. The reason he has 1 health bar is because his defenses are so unbelievably high as well, so. Normal combat's not a thing. A lot of people do a couple different strategies of like laying seeker mines and various mines around the field and having him run into them.
What's yours is mine.
Which works. Also, staggering him and hitting him with the tornado spell, which lifts him in the air, is also a good way to take him out as well. But I find that strike rate's a bit more consistent. So, we just need to... Our rolls are faster, and he will eventually do animations like this that will put him far behind. And then it just comes down to, 1, the lock-on not being a piece of crap, and us hitting him with strike rates. So let's see if we can take him out. And of course we have the potions for whenever we desperately need to heal, because he will get behind us sometimes. This isn't foolproof. There will be times he ruins us, because he's that kind of guy. But I appreciate that there are things like this that exist, in the same way that you can kind of cheat through Terra's super boss in Kingdom Hearts 2. Fun fact, strike rate doesn't work unless you're locked on, which is a funny little caveat to the whole thing. Of course, he has moments like here, where he will dunk into the ground, which allows him to cheat a little bit. But yeah, this only works if you're locked onto him. It will not phase through the rock. Of course, you have to make sure to hit him to keep him on task. He's got a little bit of ADD. He'll be like, hey, I don't know about this, man. Let's quickly change positions here and get him again. This track is so good. It's all the music in this game, they did a bang-up job with it. Ah, wasn't locked on. This is really pathetic that this is how you beat him, but I love everything about these bosses, but they're just so trash in the things that they do to you, man. It's disappointing, but hey, the experience is still there. We win. That gives us 1 more boss. That's number 4 done, if you want to count Monstro. I only did Monstro because I assumed people would be requesting him, to be honest. He dissipates into basically nothing. And you receive the Void Gear. You get the colorless version of Vanitas' Keyblade. Long Reach provides an outstanding boost of strength and deals higher damage when landing a crit. Fantastic Keyblade. But we're using the Royal Raiment, is what it is called. Not Crown Unlimit, that's another game. You'll notice combat level 13 over here. This is, I believe, the most infamous Birth by Sleep boss, and you may say, is it full of shit? Yes. Completely. We're going to want 3 Curagas. You know what we're going to need now? The way to cheese him. Thunder Surge, followed by Thunder Surge, followed by Thunder Surge, followed by Thunder Surge, and followed by Thunder Surge. How it works is Thunder Surge allows you to basically continue running and avoiding this boss, and do a stream of lightning around your body to get some quick damage in. It is the safest move in the game for this kind of thing. We're going for a run and gun strategy this time. No time to stop. The final boss. Potentially the hardest. Let's give it a look. This appears after beating the game. And hoo boy. And also probably the best track in the entire game comes from this robed ass. This is the mysterious figure. We don't know who he is yet, but he is very strong, and he came with one of the best tracks in the fucking franchise. He is amazingly fast, 5 bars of health, and controls time. If you do normal combos against him, he will occasionally roll them back in real time and take us back to the path before you dealt the damage. Thunder Surges? Not really. He also attacks a lot. He also has some of the moves that we know and love, like Tornado and, forget what this was called, like raise, some like fire move that I was using with Aqua. I'm kind of blanking on it because I'm stressed at the moment. He also teleports, so keep yourself locked. Praise the fact that Ventus has invincibility frames during his entire dodge, and do Thunder Surges. He also tries to tether you there. In the US version, that tether chain attack would insta-kill you if you got caught by it. They nerfed it for final days because it was fucking unfair. The soundtrack for this game is great. Violins accented by ha-ha-hia, ha-ha-hia. As you can see, one hit there did 95% of my health. He summons balls that shoot beams, and he gets to casually walk. Again, the Osaka team has mastered the aesthetic of a cool-looking super boss. They cloned him. He's cloned. He has now gone with different versions of himself for various timelines to attack you indiscriminately. This is hell. This is hell. His damage, absurd. His power, absurd. And it's completely absurd the amount of attacks he has. But it all comes down to you being a little lucky on these rolls. And we haven't even gotten to the hard part yet. Let's give it another round here. Alright, we're at 1 HP. If I just mash Cure, I'm safe. Thanks to once more second chance. Okay, so you may be wondering, KZ, what happened in that one. He launched his tornado attack at me. He does it by charging stationary for a couple of seconds. That then throws your commands all over the field to go pick up. If you remember Marluxia in our Chain of Memories part of this Let's Play, you know about that move. A hero's work is never done. Let's give this another shot. Since we know that we can live another hit, it's totally safe to do that move there. Same right here as well. There, now we can just mash and heal, and I'm pretty sure we can't die. But we can lose all our commands and then be brought to 1 HP. You know, I didn't really think about that aspect of this whole thing. Okay, there's a... Hey, can I go pick up my Thunder Surge, man? Oh, no. Yeah, that also happens. You don't die anymore to the tether, but it puts you in the air and you'll typically go for a charge to do a 1-2 instant kill. Because that is enough spacing in this game to count as not being a combo, which then means that. So this will be my final attempt on screen, and future ones will be, everything after this will be the winner. But win or lose, I will show this attempt. This is truly the hardest boss just because it just really fucking sucks. It's a rush when you win, though. That's just not very often. Also this shit, where he will where he will tornado more often. Again, his patterns are completely random, like most of the super bosses and most of the super bosses in KH. So it's luck based on whether or not you get a good pattern. I'll see you when I get the win. You get the idea. Oh, the last thing he does. He turns invisible, making it impossible to lock on, so you must roll in fear during the second half of the fight. Yeah, this fight sucks. Got him! Oh my god. My eyes get really strained. It's a rush. Playing the fight like this is still a rush. It's still kind of fun? Kinda? It's something, alright. Also surprised he isn't gonna die that easily. He's got more dumb stuff to do in future games. See you later. The Keyblade is No Name. A Keyblade with long reach that provides an outstanding boost in magic. It makes it easy to land critical hits. It is clock-themed. But with that, we're done here. The last thing to do would be to read the Xehanort Reports and talk a little bit about it, and then we'll close out this video. Let's go into it. We'll just read it naturally instead of me reading it during something relevant. So let's have a look at it. Secret reports. Oh, we gotta go into the menu. The in-game menu. I believe at the title screen would give it to us, if I recall. Trinity Archives. Here we go. So, the order of the game goes from these 13 pieces of documents. First, Xehanort's letter. So, this is obviously sent to Ericus. Please accept my deepest gratitude for the invitation to witness your pupil's ascension to the office of True Keyblade Master. It was a heavy mantle our master placed upon your shoulders in naming you successor, but you have nonetheless preserved and raised two masters yourself. I know it cannot have been easy. I know I did you terrible harm in the past over a petty difference of opinion. A petty difference of opinion about the Keyblade War unlocked, and then that was just petty. And just a few years ago, selfishly thrust my own burdens upon you. I think of you like a younger brother, and yet, fool that I am, I have never availed myself of countless opportunities to apologize or thank you for opening your home to the boy. Yet not once have you blamed me. On the contrary, here you are inviting me to such an important ceremony. I intend to be there to offer you all my blessings. Our master chose his heir wisely. Ours is a bizarrely ironic task to watch over the light from the shadows, but in the face of that, the warmth in your heart and unfailing dedication to the light impress me to no end. I have taken to wandering the world, and have seen much darkness hiding in the light. Lately, I fear it's taken a turn for the worse. Perhaps Yen Sid has already told you about the unversed? These fledgling emotions derive from negativity, and I can now sense their presence in nearly every world. On the topic of darkness, we speak of another matter that concerns me, one related to the upcoming ceremony. When I visited several years ago, your pupil Terra drew my attention. His power is immense, to be sure, but within his heart I could see darkness just waiting to be awakened. I know this is none of my business, but I have reservations about welcoming Terra as a true Keyblade Master without taking certain precautions. The traditional examination, perhaps? To see if he has the mark of mastery? The choice is yours, and I will humbly respect your decision. Take care, I eagerly await our long overdue reunion. So in the beginning here, we get a few pieces of important information. One, the fight between Xehanort and Ericus about unlocking the Keyblade War and awakening the Keyblade, the Kai Blade, the X-Blade, in a way. That happens at some point. Then later on, he brings the broken Ventus to Ericus to raise. And then he sends this letter back after Ericus invites him to see this Mark of Mastery exam and says, I don't think Terras can be a master. And he kind of does his own little manipulation here to color his, basically, being a villain. He's being a villain, setting up all of this. And you may wonder, well, why would Ericus ever invite Xehanort to this? Or keep him in his life after that fight they had? And Ventus is the key. Him bringing him to Ericus shows that he has... It shows the illusion that Xehanort respects Ericus enough. And that's the key to everything. That and because Ericus is a cool guy. And also the fact that their master, Ericus' master and Xehanort's master, made Ericus the heir of everything. Moving on, we have the reports. 12 reports, in fact. We'll try and skim these occasionally, but we'll see. Depends how... Okay, these aren't that long. Alright, that was my worry. Much time has passed since I left the home of my youth behind, and in the myriad worlds I had since visited, I have gained much knowledge. How the fuck do you fuck up the word knowledge? Jesus. On these pages, I intend to record a portion of that knowledge and put the course of my life to paper. Upon reflection, my life underwent the most considerable sea change when I arrived at that place. Yes, it began when I found a master, and another I would call, later on, my brother. When I found a new home, of course, that's the land of departure. Then there was the Keyblade. For what purpose was it begotten, and by whom? During my training as one of its wielders, the precepts offered a clear answer. The Keyblade existed so that we who watch over the light could protect the world from the shadows. But was that the true answer? Could there not be more to it than that? My heart sought knowledge, and so I sometimes visited other worlds, though such travel was forbidden unless duty required, and found what my heart sought. Our master instructed us to don armor while traveling between worlds, so that we might shield ourselves from the darkness, but there, in the lanes between, I could feel the force of it, the power, and from then on I forewent my armor's protection. I had been told the darkness would devour me, but what terrors could it possibly hold? So long as I found the strength to control it. The world is vast, and the worlds within the greater world, uncountable. Like little islands, they dot a great ocean, between which keeps them ignorant of each other, uncorrupted. Each world has its own order. Unlike us, they could not know of the world in its entirety. We were never to enlighten them. Of course, when he says world in capital letters, he's, of course, referring to the entire universe. All of the worlds are within this world. Interesting way to categorize it. In ancient times, no such buffers kept the larger world divided. There were no walls of light enclosing each smaller world the way they do today. Nothing prevented one from physically interfering with the next. At that time, the world was filled with light, and a great many Keyblade wielders. But without buffers, the worlds began to squabble over ownership of the light. You see, they learned of the Keyblade's true use. War broke out as each of the Keyblade wielders struggled to lay claim to the almighty entity known as Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts could be described as an aggregate of hearts. Worlds, too, have hearts. Just like people, each world's heart is concealed from sight beyond a hidden door. By gathering all the hearts of all the worlds in a single place, one may complete Kingdom Hearts. And when Kingdom Hearts is complete, it is said the one who opens its door will bring about the creation of the next world. Such a feat is above any human. Or to put it a different way, whoever opens that door will be reborn as something far greater than human. Light and darkness are two sides of the same coin. Without darkness, there is no light. The Keyblade wielders' great war over Kingdom Hearts was fought by defenders of the light, servants of darkness, those who sought to reconcile the two, and those motivated by nothing more than lust for power. A whole spectrum of thought was swept into the conflict, and the worlds that did not go to war found the war brought to them. In the end, the whole world was cast into darkness. That was how the ancient Keyblade War drew to a close. To this day, no one has ever managed to open the door to Kingdom Hearts. Sometime later, the little light that remained in the hearts of the few gave rise to the world we know today. One made of many worlds behind just as many walls, so that the Keyblade War would not be repeated. And that explains why there are walls, why these walls end up getting broken down, and why they needed to exist was because they didn't want the war happening again. And leaving all these worlds ignorant of the existence of the other worlds, all of it a strategy, so that no one can truly learn about the light, darkness, Kingdom Hearts, all of it. And of course, the Keyblade. At present, the lanes and corridors that run between the worlds may only be traversed by us Keyblade wielders, and those who have been given themselves over to darkness. Of course, the lanes between are their own type of realm the Keyblade users use to go around. Them using the term lanes between is the game's strategy of saying, here's how you can visit these worlds even though the barriers exist. As the former, our duty is to cross the chasms between worlds and guard against the latter, whose darkness corrupts and contaminates, so that no world need ever be lost again. Few Keyblade wielders remain now. I have heard of but a handful of others outside my circle, but the world is vast, and more of our kind may be out there. Now, in addition to the realm of light in which we reside, there is also a realm of darkness, and the realm between which connects the two. The realm of darkness is most forbidden. I'm told none who set foot there have ever returned. There are three families of Keyblades. The Keyblades of Light we wield, the Keyblades of Darkness, and the Keyblades of Heart. The first and second families differ only in origin. Keyblades of Darkness are found in the realm of Darkness, and are counterparts to the Keyblades we use in the realm of Light. The third type of key, the Keyblade of Heart, came into existence when the world was reorganized after the Keyblade War. Without this key, Kingdom Hearts is forever beyond a person's reach. Only by gathering together 7 hearts of pure light, hearts completely devoid of darkness, may one forge a Keyblade of Heart and open the door to Kingdom Hearts. And as stated before, opening this door arguably gives that person control over all worlds and all people, basically giving him the freedom to make the next world, and probably become a JRPG god. I have uncovered the Keyblade's ultimate mystery. You see, the 3 families of Keyblades, there is another, Keyblade. While it may sound the same when spoken, it is notated uniquely with an X, the recusant sigil. And make no mistake, while it resembles a normal Keyblade, it is something altogether different. Keyblades are said to be man-made counterparts to Kingdom Hearts. The Keyblade, however, coexists with Kingdom Hearts. It is only forged when 2 hearts of equal power intersect, one of darkness, one of light. At the time of its forging, Kingdom Hearts appears. It must be noted, though, that this Kingdom Hearts is special. Unlike the kingdoms brought about forcibly and artificially through the collection of hearts, this Kingdom Hearts is a perfect and complete union of all the world's hearts. Surely, it was over this that the ancient Keyblade War was fought. Basically saying, hey, remember all those Kingdom Hearts and the other guys? Don't worry about them, they're not important. This is the real shit. This is the big money shit. If so, the walls that divide the worlds today are of little consequence. With the Keyblade, all their hearts would be instantly reunited and the Keyblade War refought. My brother pupil Ericus thinks only in absolutes. He has persuaded himself that light is the only way, but forgets that light cannot exist without shadow. I believe a balance of light and darkness is what sustains our world, but too much of the darkness has been stamped out, disrupting that balance. Someone must tear down this tyranny of light and reorganize the world around the darkness, which then creeps back in. Ericus and I did not see eye to eye. I left and wandered the world. This was perhaps the first time I felt truly free since that day I departed my boyhood home. But free to do what? I had already shown the mark and become a Keyblade Master, but having been passed over as successor, all that remained to me was the road of teacher. Ordinarily, Keyblade Masters take pupils under their wings, malleable minds in which to impress the precepts of the Keyblade wielder and keep our profession alive for generations to come. Was my time drawing to an end? Then, after all I had accomplished since casting away the place of my birth? Surely waiting for a quiet death would not do, not when there was still so much I needed to see for myself. Powers help me, I thought. My body is so old. We Keyblade Masters have a special gift. We can extract a heart, be it our own or that of another. By continuing this cycle, it is possible to remain in the world of the living forever. As a boy, I dreamed of seeing the farthest reaches of the world. If I only went far enough, there had to be a world out there in which no one had ever before set foot. And now I know of just such a world. If I become the first to open Kingdom Heart's door, I can create a next world in which light and darkness exist in perfect equilibrium. So there I stood, with vast knowledge in one gnarled, dying hand and newfound promise in the other. The next step was clear. I needed a new vessel. And that was when I met Ventus and made him my pupil. We were destined to meet, and I could sense the potential within him. But the boy was too benign for his own good. I came to the conclusion he was too frail to serve as a vessel, and decided to use him for a second purpose I had in mind. I would remove the darkness from his heart and split him in two. Then I would have my heart of pure light and my heart of pure darkness. As was to be expected, Ventus lacked the constitution for such an ordeal. I was able to remove the darkness inside him and create Vanitas, a heart of pure darkness, but Ventus drifted into the clutches of sleep. Ventus's heart of pure light and Vanitas' heart of pure darkness. If both could be made strong enough to one day clash, I knew the Keyblade would be forged. But Vanitas took too much of Ventus's heart, and from that fracture I could see the last of Ventus's light was slipping away. The boy deserved a place to spend his final moments peacefully, and what should come to mind but my own boyhood home. My legs took me there unbidden, and as I stood there on the same beach where I had made my choice so many years ago, I thought, not a single thing has changed. Here, in this quiet world, time marches in place. Content that Ventus would find peace here, I started to walk away, but just then, the boy held up his Keyblade. The light within him had not yet died. Ventus and Vanitas were not matched in power. I could not train them together, or Vanitas' darkness would gnaw away at what little Ventus had left. Of course, since I needed a place where the boy's light might flourish, the answer was obvious: Ericus and his absolutes. Considering how we had parted ways, I expected friction, but if anything, Ericus seemed delighted to see me again. He readily agreed to take care of Ventus. Now I need only wait for the boy's heart to get stronger. I had not visited the second home of mine for some time and discovered Ericus had already had two pupils of his own. Within one of them, Terra, I sensed something. The boy, though well-intentioned, seeks power single-mindedly. And that kind of hunger is a seedbed for darkness. I had found my vessel. The time has come. I've received word from Ericus that his pupils are to become true Keyblade Masters. Terra and Aqua. They will be easy now to lure into the outside world, but Ventus! I will get nowhere without him. Vanitas can feel some of what Ventus feels and says Terra is the key. Ventus has loved Terra like a real brother ever since he let him keep his old wooden Keyblade. It seems we have found a loose thread at which we can tug to unravel Ventus's heart. The first step is to get Terra alone. Then we need to plant the seeds of doubt in Ventus, let him carry his faint light as he chases his brother into the darkness. Let the darkness make his light stronger, then let the light deepen the darkness, and where the two finally meet is where the stuff of legends will become real. And that's it. So to wrap up, that explains basically everything that's going on in Birth by Sleep at this point. Xehanort hatches a plan that he wants to create the next world and become something beyond a human, someone who will continue to exist. To do that, he obtained Terra as a vessel, manipulated the entire thing, split Ventus into two so that they could once again combine and forge the Keyblade. The opposite, the other thing that coexists with Kingdom Hearts. Use both of these to unlock the door and go where no other person ever has been. And that's the plot of Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, and his plans, for the most part, have both worked and not worked. We have Terra, his will within his armor, fighting off Xehanort temporarily, but his body is still a slave to this Dark Master. Ventus did not become or forge the Keyblade as Xehanort wanted, and now has gone comatose. And Aqua is left to pick up the pieces. All of this leading to one final moment, one final clash. And that is what the finale of Birth by Sleep is about. Also, for those wondering, there is in fact a secret episode that exists after you complete Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep's final episode. I will not be covering that immediately. The secret episode that has additional gameplay will be covered at the very end of the Kingdom Hearts series LP after we do a few more games, because if people know the content is, they can probably realize why I'm going to be doing it later. Of course, we will be showing the secret movie to cap off the LP. All of that and more in the finale of Birth by Sleep, a part of the Kingdom Hearts series. I'd like to thank you guys so much for watching. It's been fun doing this bonus video. We just got one more thing to do. Until then.